ball's fault. You want good words? Data language.
Talk real sports with a real man.
Come after me! I'm a man! I'm 40!
And now, here's the be-all, end-all, know-it-all of high school, college, and pro sports. Aaron Skinny Count with the Skinny on Sports.
We're talking about practice, man. I'm the MVP.
And a good Wednesday morning out there, Western Oklahoma. Welcome to the Skinny on Sports right here on 98.1 FM. The Sports Animal. Glad to have you along for the next hour. I guess we can update the baseball tournaments from around the state. I know some start today. Maybe Coach Pitch starts today. This is Wednesday, right? My head's spinning a little bit.
Yeah. Yes, it is Wednesday.
All right, so Coach Pitch starts today in Weatherford. Got Salisaw in the 12U. Clinton, or no, that's in Clinton.
Yeah.
Weatherford's 10U.
Yeah.
Whatever. I don't know. Take it over, Jared.
So you're all over the place?
Take over.
Well, I got a slow computer. I'm waiting for it to catch
Yeah,
up
Clinton
with me.
is Coach Pitch. 10U is Weatherford. Salisaw is the 12U. I can tell you this. Nothing happened in Salisaw.
That rain
yesterday.
came, huh? Did it
It
stay all?
came.
Do you know? You had to drive through it, I assume.
No, it was already done.
It was already done.
Mm-hmm.
But they got nothing done.
Yeah, it rained pretty good there for a while. And we were actually kind of south and west of Salisaw where we were staying. And I think it rained more in Salisaw than it did where we were at. So it was pretty early, about 1 in the afternoon or so, when the call was already made. Hey, there ain't no baseball today.
Yeah.
And so the bracket's been redrawn as far as times, games, and that kind of thing, so I can figure that out here and let everybody know kind of what's happening today. Matter of fact, I think we got a game starting at the end of the show that was supposed to happen yesterday at 2 o'clock. So we can update that, get you there. Also, state champs are going to be here today. The Elk City 12U Elkettes, state softball champs, they'll be in the house about 9:30 to tell us what it was like to win a state title in the dominating fashion that they did. So that'll be a lot of fun, getting to hear from them. Have you seen any of this golf stuff? The agreement?
Well, I saw the tweet. I saw a tweet that had everything in it, and I almost forwarded it to you and said, "Okay, get on this and study it and explain it to me." I didn't sit down and read all of that. I'm sure you found some bullet points, though, did you?
I haven't. No,
Not really.
that's hoping you had.
No.
No, I think the gist of it, honestly, it's going to be moving forward. That Live Golf is going nowhere.
Okay.
It's not going anywhere, and I think the timing. Everyone has jumped the gun. It's going to be a little bit, but they also have a clause in there that if they can't come to an agreement, then it just goes back to what it was. I have a hard time believing that's ever going to happen. So that's one of those things. Also,
So there'll still be a PGA event and a Live event,
I think.
but they're going to try to not really conflict with each other. Is that how it's going to work?
I guess. And then, so if that's the case, then are we going to have these guys? Is Live going to have to be more than 48 guys in the field? If not, it's hard to squeeze everybody in. Maybe those are just weeks off for the PGA Tour guys. Maybe not. I don't. It's still a long, long ways to go before they get this completely figured out on how this is all going to work and what it's going to look like. That at the end of the day, if I'm on the PGA side, the player side, I'm looking at Jay Monahan and going, "Look what you created by not just letting there be a fall series." That's all that Yasser wanted in the first place. Just have a few tournaments around the world, and now here we are in an absolute mess. But this is going to be an ongoing topic for sure until we get this figured out. And then also, of course, you've got the boys in Washington thinking they need to look into it as well, which I'm not exactly sure what good that can come out.
Yeah, I don't understand that one either.
But anyway, there's that. We've got this free agency bullet points for the Oklahoma City Thunder. That starts Saturday. I would imagine by this afternoon, tomorrow, for sure Friday, we're going to get to start hearing about some agreements that are in place. You know what I mean? That always happens. You're not supposed to talk to anybody until midnight on July 30th or June 30th. Yeah, that's not happening. I think we all know that the gun gets jumped, and so I imagine we'll start hearing some of that.
Some back channels kept open.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. They're having dinners and that kind of thing.
Right.
So don't expect the Thunder to be overly aggressive by reading this kind of preview on ESPN.com. 225-9698 is the phone or the text line. 225-9698. Give us a call, shoot us a text. We can talk about any of those things. Whatever else might be on your mind, feel free to chime on in at 225-9698. We've also got a final total in the Jello Shot Challenge.
They cut them off, did they?
There is a final. Oh, my. They say records were meant to be broken. Yeah, good luck. Good luck ever breaking this one. All right. If you're going to be outside the listening area, there are a couple ways to stay in touch with the show. You can log on to kadsam.com. You can download the app. The app's got it all. Radio. It's got the Penny News, which, by the way, brand new edition of the Penny News. Hit the website last night at midnight. Check it out, thepennynews.com. Have the print copies filtering out this afternoon. By tomorrow, everybody can go pick up a free copy of the Penny News. Big Elk and Paragon TV are also in that app. So once we roll around to August, be back online with the high school sports there on Big Elk and Paragon TV. And, of course, the podcast. You can find it anywhere where podcasts are. How are you today, Jared?
I'm well. I'm up and at 'em. I had to get here early to fill in for Nathan in his show. So
yeah,
I've been here for
when I was
a couple
pulling
hours.
in there, and
Yep.
right just after 8. Your truck was here.
I'm bright and bushy-tailed, ready to go.
Is that? I noticed that you parked where Nathan normally parks. So is that kind of the early morning show host parking spot?
Well, usually when I get here, Landry's already gone, and I try to park where he parks. And I
do
pull
that
his,
too.
And I pull his
And
forward.
I usually beat you here.
Yeah, you do, but you're right. But anyway, so I guess, I don't know. I just found the closest parking spot, I guess.
Easiest one to maneuver into.
Sure.
I was a few minutes late today. Would you like to know why?
Well, I mean, you're probably tired from
No.
getting back here from Salisaw.
That's not it.
Did you run out of gas?
Nope.
Flat tire?
Nope.
Alarm didn't go off?
Nope.
What was it then? I'm out. What?
They the road's not open that I come down.
Oh, you come down Pioneer.
Yes.
Off of 20th Street.
That's correct.
Yeah, they're doing something at the railroad crossing
Yeah.
over there. I probably should get on that, being the news guy and all.
Yeah, the road's not open.
Yeah.
And here's the problem. You just got to go back where you came from. There's no way to get
Yeah,
around it
really
once
no-
you get there.
Yeah, I guess you could go all the way to Merritt Road.
Yeah, but you still got to go back to 20th is what I'm saying.
Yeah, you got to go back to 20th.
Yeah. And then go around.
Right.
And then as soon as I got
I mean, in their defense, they did have a sign up.
I remember
past few
seeing the
days.
sign. Gosh, I guess it would have been Sunday.
I saw Saturday going back and forth from the golf course to here.
Yeah. Sunday when I came up here to get everything kind of squared away for Monday and Tuesday. I remember then as I pulled up there and was getting closer, and I'm like, uh-oh. Yeah, that sign did say, and I couldn't remember the date. Turns out it was the 27th. So
I don't have one job from the text sign. I have one job. I got to figure out what's going on over there. I don't have just one job here. I can tell you that. Notice this studio has been cleaned up.
I did notice this.
I took everything.
Where'd you put it?
I took all the cameras, HDMIs, all the audio equipment, everything downstairs. And I'm going to it's kind of like an inventory. I'm doing inventory during this dog days of summer.
See, here's the only bad thing about what you've done.
Got to do it every year.
No.
Going to find stuff missing. What?
If something is missing later on, it's going to be all your fault. Can only blame
Well,
you.
here's the deal. I'd rather find it missing now
That's correct.
here on June 28th and not on the first day of football game.
Like down at Altus,
Yeah.
at Hightower Stadium.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks like there's a bunch of action
So,
outside.
anywho, that's what's going on down. And then I'm going to, once I do all that, I'm going to set everything up down there. I'm going to be done. Football will be ready for broadcast before I go on vacation.
Oh, really?
It will. That's my goal. That way,
Like
I don't have to even
2
worry
weeks.
about that. I don't, because I found the last couple years when I'm on vacation, I'm thinking, oh man, when I get back, I got to get ready for the football broadcast. I got to hit that ground running. I don't even have to worry about that. So, and I'm hoping that a lot of it will carry over from last year. But there's some changes I'm going to make. But anywho, got some, because we don't have games to go to. I'm done with softball for a month. So that's I got some free time outside of my normal job, and then I'll tackle that. But I wanted to, and clutter drives me crazy. It was getting a little out of hand in here, so I cleaned it up. Plus, I knew we were going to have a lot of guests in here. I wanted to make room for them.
Looking at that receipt, I found that receipt you were talking about yesterday, where it would just say 100 Jello shot LSU.
Yeah.
100 Jello shot LSU.
Right.
100 Jello shot LSU. Did you see the total?
So
The
40
final total?
of that one purchase?
No. The final total for LSU.
No. Oh, no. The total of Jello shots.
Yes.
No, what
yes,
was it?
Their final total rings up at 68,888. So just LSU was $344,000 worth of revenue. I saw that. I saw
insane.
Rocco's thank the folks that make them. It was had a little handle there. So they are made. They're pre-made. As many as they can make. I don't know how you store all these to be able to get. So that this has got to be an ongoing process. Someone has this automated. They're not just pouring a little into a cup.
There has to be.
There's some automation going on here.
Some assembly line, yeah. Something.
No doubt. 68,000.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's
crazy.
not a record that's going to get touched.
I don't even know if two fan bases. Maybe that's how you break it. You get two fan bases. Go. You know what? We both don't like LSU. How about we combine forces? But no one's going to want to help another. You know what I mean? They want, no, okay, well then put the numbers on our team. No, it's on our team. Then it'll go back to team versus team. Yeah, that's going to be an impossible record to break. But you know who could break it?
LSU?
Yeah, LSU. Anytime they go back, they're going to try to break their own record.
Okay, I understand your thought here with teaming up.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
Here's the problem with that theory. This year, if everybody else in the tournament would have teamed up, they would still be. Oh, man.
Did you lose the number?
No, I hit the wrong deal. Everybody else got to 26,000.
Uh-huh.
So they'd have had to double and then
Yeah.
halftime their efforts to get there.
Well, I mean, maybe next year a better fan representation other than Virginia will show up.
Virginia and Stanford were
And
pretty
pretty sad.
terrible.
Even in a normal year, that's pretty sad. They just didn't care.
872 for Virginia versus 68,888 for LSU.
They're the girl in the corner drinking the White Claw at the party. They're not really that fun.
Yeesh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They want to leave at 9 o'clock.
26,142 for everybody else versus 68,888 for LSU. Man. That's a whipping.
Yes, it is.
That's a whipping. So congratulations, LSU fans. You've lived up to your mighty reputation for drinking.
Being crazy fans.
Yes,
yeah.
you are definitely that. So, way to go. Way to go to the LSU fans. NBA free agency starting on Saturday. Here's the thing about the Thunder. They've already got 15 guys under contract. So even if they wanted to make some sort of splash, it's going to be pretty hard to do because of because of the contract situation. Now, tomorrow is the deadline that they could extend Lindy Waters with a team option. I personally hope they don't. And here's why. Because I think Lindy Waters has shown the ability to make shots in the NBA, and I'm sure he's hoping they don't. That way, maybe he can catch on somewhere else. Mm-hmm. And then also JRE, Jeremiah Robinson Earl, on Friday is when his contract becomes guaranteed. So that could be an opportunity to shave a couple of people off of the roster. It's kind of listening, driving back yesterday. That was one thing that I know that Jim was back and he was upset, not with the pick necessarily, but how are you going to get minutes for a guy that's playing the position that he is? You know, you can spot minutes for a center, right? They're open. You can find those. But for a guy like this, I mean, what does this mean? I personally think it means the Lou Dort countdown to being traded has started. And I wonder how much of that draft pick and the moves that was made go along with what the new CBA is going to be once it gets signed and ratified. It almost feels like we haven't got to experience this, right? We've always had to see Sam Presti make moves prior to, and oh, by the way, some of the most important moves in the franchise history without knowing what it was going to be. Now he's got the opportunity to make these moves ahead of time with knowing what it is, right? Mm-hmm. And so that's where I just anything that you hear about the new CBA, it's trending toward you really not being able to afford 3 max type players, right?
Right.
Seems like it's it's a duo and then fill out around it. And so if you project ahead and you're hoping Chet is what Chet is, you know, paying Lou Dort $18 or $19 million for what you're getting out of Lou Dort might put you in a tough spot financially moving forward. And so if you can get that position, you know, 85 to 90% of the production for 15 or 20% of the money, those are moves that are going to kind of have to be made at least to prepare for what's coming next. Because that's the one thing that's coming is a whole bunch of dudes are going to get paid if this current roster stays intact for the next couple of years.
I kind of feel like for the most part it will, outside of the pieces that you mentioned. So don't. It's been fun for me. You said NBA draft is like Christmas Day, right? Well, for me, free agency is like Christmas Day in the NBA world. For me, at least it used to be. Now this year, I don't expect a lot of big splash moves from the Thunder. My next Christmas Day, I think, is coming up in trade deadline, like you said. Like when we get closer to that date, which is in February. That's, depending on where the Thunder are in standings and wins and everything, if it's still very realistic to not. When I say go for it, I mean go for our realistic expectations of outright playoffs, 6-5 seed, something like that. Then that's my Christmas Day. Is like, what could they be doing? Who could they go and trade for to acquire to make this team better? But I don't think we'll see anything like that on Saturday.
I don't even. No. I totally agree. I don't think that's for one thing.
The bigger question is
they've never been able to attract anybody anyhow.
No, and that's always been a thing. And the bigger question is outside of the Thunder market, like, what happens to Lillard? What happens to Draymond? What happens to what's going on in Dallas? What's going on in L.A. with Lakers and Clippers? I'm really because that'll shift the landscape, mainly in the West, of what the Thunder are going to be looking forward to where they could fall at the end of next year, standings-wise. So that's what I'm going to be looking for. The shakeups around the Thunder.
Yeah, Portland's really interesting with Dame and then also Jeremy Grant and how that's all going. How what they look like. Is this going? Are they tearing it down with drafting Scoot, or are they going to try to build? I mean, they say out publicly that they're trying to build the best team they can possible around Dame Lillard. Does he want to do that? Kind of go through what I kind of seen Shai Gilgeous-Alexander go through the last couple of years.
I can't figure out what Dame wants.
I don't know if he can either.
It's every day I hear something different about him.
But it's the same song and verse though, right? For the last couple of summers, going into say the draft, it's he's not going to be there. Look out for a Dame Lillard deal. Then right before it's like, oh, really happy, I love it here in Portland, I want to stay forever, blah blah blah. And then after nothing happens at the draft.
Yeah. And
then we get to free agency, and it's he's not a free agent, but there can be moves made.
Well, sure, yeah.
It just seems like he's having a hard time deciding. I think here's the deal. I think he really loves it in Portland, but he also wants to win, and I don't know if he thinks that can happen in that spot. So yeah, he's definitely one to watch. I think Draymond's super interesting where he ends up because he's not necessarily the Draymond of the early run for Golden State. But he's still a guy that you want on your team and not on somebody else's.
If I'm the Lakers, I'm doing everything to get him, honestly.
You know where he'd be good in? But he's not going to go here because they're a long ways away from winning. But you know where he'd be good? Is Detroit. He's from there, young team. He could kind of whip them into shape a little bit,
Yeah.
Because they've got talent all over, or supposed to be talent all over the floor.
Yeah.
But there's no way he's going there.
No,
he's way too. That'd drive him crazy. He might beat them all up. All those young guys not doing what they're supposed to be doing. He might beat the entire team up by the time it's over. But yeah, I think probably this afternoon, for sure by tomorrow, I think we'll start hearing, hey, there's a deal in place for so and so to go somewhere. Who's the biggest? Is Draymond the guy? Who else? If it's a trade with Dame or something, what is when we come in here on Monday or whatever, what's going to be the biggest move that has been made?
Well, if it happens, and I don't think it will, but Zion, I think it'd be big just because you've always heard reports that nobody wants him and they can't find a home for him. So I don't think that's going to happen. I think that's the Draymond thing, wherever he could end up. I think he's very open to explore options. You've heard him and the Lakers have a mutual interest, but I wonder if that's changed since they went and got Chris Paul, or if that does anything for him at all. I don't know, but I think he would be the biggest name.
Wait,
I don't think
what? Wait, what?
Draymond Green?
No, Chris Paul. Did I miss something?
Chris Paul is a
Laker.
He's a Golden State Warrior.
Oh, Warrior. Okay, I was going to say, wait a minute. I thought you were talking about the Lakers.
I wonder if that would.
It's like, holy cow, I missed that.
To keep Draymond there. Or does that move the needle for anybody anymore with Chris Paul and his age?
I think that's a horrible move by Golden State.
See what I'm saying?
Because he can't play fast. He's going to make them change how they play. Because he likes to kind of waddle up the floor.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe he doesn't have to play as much and he can be fresher. I don't know. I think Draymond's out of there.
I think I've made it perfectly clear I do too.
I think he's out of there. And I think they're going to miss him.
And if he goes to L.A., I want a season-long Hard Knocks-style documentary. Because that dynamic seems crazy, right? AD and Draymond and LeBron.
I think AD's would be the candidate to get punched in the face because he's not playing.
Right.
And Draymond don't want to. He don't play that.
Right there between the eyes and the unibrow. Boom.
What about Russ? You think it looks like Russ is going to stay in L.A. as well with the Clippers?
That's a good fit for him.
Seemed to be. Way better than the Lakers.
Yep.
I don't know how much difference he can make either.
I think that because there was talks of bringing Chris Paul back to the Clippers, when that didn't happen, I think Russ will stay where he's at.
Yeah,
I do think it's a good fit for him if he can play his role.
If it's me, I'd rather have Russ than Chris Paul at this stage in their careers. I just don't know that Chris Paul has much left, man. And he's always hurt at the end. I just don't know. Thunder-wise, enjoy your July 4th holiday. This isn't going to be this isn't 2016 where everybody's sitting on the edge of their chair for a few days waiting to get their heart
But
ripped
this
out
is
by
all a
Kevin
part
Durant.
of the process, in my opinion.
It is. I do think they're. I do
But
think there'll be less guys.
I think they're in a win now mode.
Well, I don't.
You don't think so? Even with after who they drafted,
No.
I think they drafted the guy that's going to help them.
I think he'll help it. No.
I don't think it's tank mode anymore.
I don't think it's tank mode, but I don't think it's
Well,
all
I'm
out.
not saying win now for a championship. It's compete and win.
Yeah, I don't know about that either. Hanging out in the studio on a Wednesday morning, and it's a full studio all of a sudden as the 12U Elk City Elkettes state championship winning softball team is in the house. Got 1, 2, 3. How many are there? 11 girls, 3 coaches, and 1 old pro at this, as he's been in here before. The head coach of the Elkettes is Denny Gino. Denny, how are you today?
I'm doing great, thank you.
So, okay, you text me on Monday, and I had actually thought about this already because a couple of summers ago, there was another group in here that featured your son. And now there was bickering back and forth, apparently, between one of these girls and Catch about whose team was the best. Now, I don't want to put you on the spot, but whose team was the best?
I don't know if I could give you the answer to that one. This was an ongoing ordeal because of that they've both been so successful through the season. So it wasn't like it just started at that point, but it was an ongoing conversation through the seasons.
You guys down in Ada for the state tournament last week. Just talk about the pure domination that your team put on everybody that was there.
These 2 years ago, this group of girls actually was split almost into 2 teams and got rained out. And by some powers that were ahead of everything else, ended up moving it to another week. And like the majority of the teams, we weren't able to compete. Most parents and stuff had scheduled vacations and different things. I think these girls kind of went in and had a mindset of, they wanted to finish what they had started 2 years ago, and they came out and just tattooed the ball. I was talking to J.W. Gillette last night, and he told me, he's like, man, if I waited 5 minutes of your game, it was almost over by the time I got on and started watching it.
Yeah.
So it made me think, what was our first inning scores? Well, I went back and looked, and we scored 49 runs in the first inning of the 4 games. And so one of the coaches had said, when we got through our lineup, he said, I looked up and you were at 9 hole, and she hits a double in the gap. And I turned around and I was like, crap, here comes her leadoff.
That was my question. It's everybody, right? Top to bottom, everybody hit.
Yeah, it's everybody. We ended up getting every single girl in the championship game played. There was a couple other games we got majority. I think every girl played in another game, but in a couple of the other games, it kind of snuck up on you because Leedy, who we had just played the week before in a 3-0 ball game, they're very good. So it's like, man, you slack up just a little bit, and here comes their 1, 2, 3, 4 coming up to bat, and luckily we got their 1-2 out, and they're both really good players, and I don't know if it was tie or what, but we kind of looked at each other like, if we get this out, it's a run rule. So, you just don't expect that from good teams like that, and our girls went out and they just competed, and they never looked back.
Yeah, I think that first game when I was checking, and it was already like 11-0, and there was already new players in the top of the first inning. Yeah. You went through your lineup twice, and we're right in the middle of it for the third time. All right, let's start.
Yeah, let's meet them.
Yeah, let's meet everybody.
Say your name and your position.
Yeah, say your name and your position.
Your name's Kinley.
You can do it. Okay, go ahead.
My name's Kinley, and I play pitcher.
My name is Maggie, and I play third.
Say your first and last names.
Yeah, let's start back over because nobody knows who Kinley and Maggie are.
I'm Kinley Suter, and I play pitcher.
I'm Maggie Gino, and I play third.
I'm Allie Lawrence, and I play outfield.
I'm Bethany Crowther, and I play third and outfield.
I'm Josie McConnell, and I play shortstop.
I'm Reeson Hugh, and I play first and outfield. I'm Kimmy McClure, I play second and first. I'm Addie De La Fuente, and I play anywhere in the outfield.
I'm Lacey McLemore, and I play first in outfield.
I'm Brindley Gerald, and I play catcher in outfield.
I'm Braylon Fulton, and I play outfield.
Okay, let's pass it back down to Josie because she seems the most comfortable. Okay, Josie, shortstop, probably kind of one of the more leaders on the team. Like, as it was going on, did you realize, like, holy cow, we're playing really, really good every single time we're out here?
I mean, yeah, it was kind of hard not to look at the scoreboard. So,
I mean, so when you put up 17 runs in an inning, does the scoreboard really – did it have one of those where like it was every inning or just the total?
just the total.
So it did go to 20.
Yeah.
'Cause sometimes they don't go that high.
No, it was kind of cool seeing that number on the board and seeing everybody just hitting the ball.
Did you just feel like once you got started, everybody relaxed and were like, man, this is going to be awesome because we're playing so great?
Kind of. Everybody was just up in the dugout and cheering. So everybody was having fun.
Yeah, it's hard not to. Okay.
Who's the pitcher?
It's Lindley Pogue, but she was also made All-American.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Wow. Say that again, Aaron.
All-American. You made all – how did that work?
Well, we had a tournament up in, where was it? I don't know. Fire Lake. And there was these tryouts for All-American, and so my parents obviously signed me up. And you got so many balls. You got so many balls to field and hit, and so the best scorers got to be on the team.
Awesome. Congratulations. All right.
That's awesome, yeah.
Yeah, you have to. Okay. So at what point this spring or summer did you start talking trash to Catch?
I talk trash to him every day.
Every single day. Now, what could he possibly come back with after you guys win 4 games 67-5 and win the state title?
Congratulations, and they look the same. The things look the same. That's all he said.
So does that mean he kind of admitted defeat because he didn't really have much to say?
Yeah.
You think so?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's your dad. He said the only thing he had over top of you was getting to come in here and talk on the radio. So now you get to do that too. It's going to be hard for me to not take y'all's side on this.
Listen, with the scoring that happened this past weekend, I'm leaning towards this side here. Because as far as dominance versus state tournament, state champs versus other state champs, there's little resistance here. I'm going to have to lean with the girls here. That's more impressive for me. Sorry, boys.
All right, who wants it next? One more. Kinley.
The pitcher wants
The
it.
pitcher. The pitcher.
So Lindley Pogue, who's not here,
Right.
Which is these two both split time, and so.
Would you rather
You asked
start
me a
or
while ago,
close?
two pitchers.
You rather start a game or close a
Yeah.
game or come in and relief?
Start a game.
How come?
Well, who doesn't want to start, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, do you have a what am I trying to think of? A routine that you go through when you know you're going to start to get ready to go?
Yeah.
Very good.
All right. Will your dad say about the same amount of words as you did?
No.
One of y'all two come up here. Oh, yeah. Tyrell.
How's it going?
You're doing pretty good. How are you?
I'm good.
You seem like you're relaxed, more relaxed than I've seen you as the season was going on at different times.
That is true. After our first inning every game, we were pretty relaxed the whole time.
So, I mean, seriously, though, what was it like? I mean, when you think about winning a state title, you think about it being exciting. I mean, not that it wasn't exciting, but, like really nerve-wracking, intense. And when you score 49 runs in 4 games in the first inning, some of that has to go away.
Oh, as how these girls hit the ball, I mean, we were just, like, amazed on how they just continued, like, up and down the lineup. Like, every time they got up there, we were thinking, somebody's getting the ball hit hard to them.
They're
going to make them earn it.
Was there ever a thought after the first inning of the first game, like, hey, Save some of those for later.
I got a little nervous when we rained out on Friday. I'm like, how are we going to come back on Saturday?
Yeah.
But after that first game on Saturday, they were hitting the ball just the same. So,
when in this season, and any coach can answer this, did you think we got something special, or did you know going into the season, carrying over, like Denny, you kind of alluded to it a couple years ago, but was there any time this year you thought this team's going to make a run?
When we started this this season, Ty and I talked, and we had basically 14 girls on my team, kind of how the softball works for Elk City, and we had a group of 6 left, and we'd sat down and discussed, and it was hard to take some off of one team and make another team, and then it was also hard for him. He was going to have to find. There were some girls that were signed up that didn't have schools, but he's like, I don't know if I have 9 total. I don't know if I'll have enough to play. And so we came up with the idea of let's take them all and see if Kids Inc. will allow us to have 4 games, and we can play 10 in one game. And we ended up having 21 total because there was another girl that was wanting to play. And so we just called her and told her to come out and play since what we were doing. And, we got to work with a lot of girls. And, you just kept seeing these girls keep getting better and keep getting better and keep getting better. And that thought had crossed even Jamie. Jamie and I sat here and had this discussion multiple times about, man, when we put these 2 together, they're going to be pretty dominant. Yeah. And pitching-wise, fielding-wise, hitting-wise, because there's just not many outs in a lineup. And that's what makes this group special. We did have one girl that set the tempo in a game, little 5th grader. She caught a fly ball against Leedy deep in the power alley on a dead run over her shoulder. It was a beautiful catch, but you don't see that from a lot of little 5th graders, And
say her name again.
Allie Lawrence, which they called her about every name under the sun at the state tournament, except hers. And it's just kind of like that. When the teams are good, you got to have good outfielders. You got to have, and that's what this group is right now. Is they perform at a high level.
So this leads up to my follow-up question. For all the coaches who are listening, how do you get them there? For me personally, it's been this close, low-hanging fruit. What does it take from a coach's standpoint and a team standpoint? Is it a lot of buy-in, parents buy-in, a little self-work? What is it? What's the secret?
So when we were finished, we had, of course, parents and grandparents coming up and congratulating us and telling us thank you and stuff, but it's not that. It's the parents, the grandparents, the girls, and the coaches all buying in and spending extra time in the barn, going out and taking extra ground balls. Hey, if my kid's not the kid that's playing shortstop or third base or something, I'm okay with it, and I tell my daughter I'm okay with it, So when you have those conversations with parents where it's not, hey, well, why is my kid not getting to play? Or why, they're all bought in. We're all on the same page. We're here to get these girls better because the main thing isn't this state championship. It's the one in about 4 years.
Absolutely.
So everybody, I know some, who's going into 7th grade next year off of this team?
We have 2
okay.
5th graders, and the rest will be 7th.
And from what I've seen last past week, and you got a good group from that 10U is going to come kind of fill that void too, right? So it's going to keep going.
Yeah, and you guys have talked Western Oklahoma softball. I hate to say this, but I love Jeremy Gray. We've used each other. We've used each other as.
I promise you, he's listening.
how to make each other better. Nate Larson at Cordell, Jason Brown. JW, you use each other, and we're not just making our program better. We're making the programs around us. And when you look at it, you've got Canute, who's A, and Leedy, who's B, Elk City's 4. So you want to be competitive with these teams, and that's what I've probably learned more as a coach, starting from the one that's a senior to now. I was so competitive, wanted to beat everybody, but instead of being so focused on beating them, it was more like, how can we make each other better?
Right.
And that's what I feel like right now in Western Oklahoma, when you see Cordell playing in state tournament, Leedy playing in state tournament, Clinton playing in state tournament, and then you look at over at 10U, you've got Canute, You got, our other Elk City group, and just so on. I mean, just all through there, there's Western Oklahoma teams. So
even down to 8U. I mean, it's and it's fun, and I find myself when we're not playing. For me personally, this last weekend, I'm rooting for those other teams. I'm rooting for Elk City, and because of that mutual respect, and it's fun. It's fun to watch a bunch of really good softball, and it's fun to bring home state titles. And you're right. Hopefully, in about 4 years, do it again.
Yes.
Okay. Last question. So you got to see, like on league night, you'd split teams, and would you ever play each other?
No, we never played.
It never happened. Okay, darn it. I was gonna stir the pot a little bit. Well, that didn't work.
And we would inter scrimmage or inter squad during practice and stuff all the time. So I mean, even if we had to, I would have told the umps to go home, and I would have ran it, or Jamie or Ty, because honestly, like without those two guys, this wouldn't have been possible. So I mean, I really appreciate everything they've done. I had a crazy idea, and unfortunately, with my high school coaching duties, I ended up having to leave it with them on a lot of Tuesdays. So they've really stepped up and really been a big part of this.
Well, it's awesome. Congratulations, girls. It's just so cool, and I'm sure everybody can't wait to see what happens. Like you said, here in 3 or 4 years, when you guys get up into the high school ranks and bring home a totally different trophy that'll sit in the Pioneer Center or whatever forever. So congratulations to every one of y'all. Awesome.
Absolutely.
Thanks for coming. It wasn't too bad, was it?
Yes.
Oh, you want to talk now?
No.
Oh, okay. All right, that's the Elk City Elkettes 12U state championship winning softball team. Coach Gino, Coach Suter, Coach McClure. Just awesome stuff. Good stuff, man. That's awesome. It
is cool.
It's really cool.
And I hate to sound like one of those, kind of, it's like an old statement when people say this, but man, they grow up so fast. But they will. We're gonna blink, and they're gonna be in the high school level.
Well, I mean, honestly,
and it's like,
well, Catch and Cole and those guys. That seems like it was a summer or two ago,
right?
And those guys are going to be juniors in high school.
Exactly, and that should excite you, right? Because looking over one of those girls, the confidence is like through the roof, and I've seen them play, and they are really good. And so when they went down to Ada and won it the way they won it, it really didn't shock me. I'm not trying to lessen it, but I expected it. So, so now I'm just really excited to see them get through junior high and get up to the high school level and see what they can really do, because they can hit, and I hope that continues. And this isn't just like at a local level. I mean, we have an All-American in here, which that blew my mind. Saw some girls wearing U-Trip shirts that turned, so they're playing. They're doing that extra stuff, and put a lot of time and commitment into it. Clearly,
that's what's nuts is in those 4 games, Cordell, Clinton, and Leedy were the other opponents, and then Fletcher. Yeah, and so like Denny was saying, that kind of iron sharpens iron out here, and you see that when you get around to the fast pitch season, the ones that do play slow pitch, who was in that who was in the state tournament, who played all the way to the finals this year in 3 different classes with Leedy, Canute, and Hammond,
right?
In the slow pitch state finals.
Yeah,
and a lot of that starts right with where those girls that were just in here starts way then.
Right. Yeah.
So really cool.
It's really cool and exciting, and I'll be lying to you if I told you I wasn't jealous. I mean, because it's like I said, it's been so close a couple times for our girls, and I feel like it's coming. But and Denny gave a great answer. It is iron sharpens iron. I know at Canute we've done a couple times where we had a preseason festival, and we just have our local teams here, and there's no animosity to it or anything. Like, we just want to play you to beat you. We want to make each other better. And we've had some great games against Elk City and McClure's bunch, and we went 3-3 against each other. I mean, it just shows how close we were. And then we were in the Final Four this year. I mean, it's awesome to watch. And Kids Inc. and that league is producing great teams, really good teams at this level right now, that you're going to hear a lot of these names again that we'll talk about when they're in high school. That not team names, but in those individual names, you're going to remember those names. Have success at the high school level. It's very exciting.
I was really hoping that they played each other
Oh, I'm sure they do
split
it.
up
The
games.
inter squad all the
yeah.
time. But yeah, I know what you mean.
That was really so we couldn't get something out of them, but
And kudos to everybody involved in that Elkett softball program.
Yeah.
Those numbers he talked about those are like 5A numbers almost.
Mm-hmm.
If you think about it, there's so much interest there. To be a part of it because they know it can benefit their kid and developing them to be good ball players.
well, you can see why the team this year. What did they have? 10 seniors, 9 or 10, something like that. But a lot of places, them leaving would crater everything.
Mm-hmm.
That's not going to happen here. And a big part of it is the summertime development and starting, and where they're at. So they're really cool. Hey, did you see what happened yesterday?
Thinking in the sports world.
Something that will affect us, you and me specifically.
No.
In what we do later on in come fall.
We can broadcast at state tournaments.
No.
No, in the fall. No, I don't know. What is it?
We're going to see I know you
Oh,
commit.
yeah. I did see that.
Yeah, so Xavier Robinson of Carl Albert. If you watched that game last year with the Elks at Carl Albert, you know who he is. He's the one, I think he scored 5 touchdowns on the ground. He's a monster.
In about 3/4 of play, no less.
Monster.
Yeah, big guy.
He committed to Oklahoma yesterday. I can't wait to see what his role is because I know they're recruiting 2 other running backs. So is he more Dimitri Flowers because of his size?
Yeah.
Or is he more Ramondre Stevenson?
Well, we were talking about this on the show before this, on the early morning show, what that could be, what he could look like. He's a 3-star guy, but he's going into his senior year, so there's always that possibility he could still develop into a 4-star caliber running back. But I took 2 things away from it. One was it's awesome to see a local guy stay local. No, that's always been a thing, right? We always want to see the local guys stay local. And then 2, the possibility of him getting better. But yeah, his size just screams at you. 3rd down and short, smash back. Fullback position's really not a thing anymore because I thought he's not as big as J.D. Reynolds was, but the parallels are similar because of coming from Carl Albert and everything. I don't know. Can he catch it out of the backfield like the Flowers could?
I'm watching some highlights right now. And it's
like an X-back.
It looks like from the state title game, actually.
Which they did everything they wanted to in that game, too.
And he's coming across, catching one over the middle. I think that he will be more of that Flowers type guy.
Yeah. Like a hybrid tight end fullback type position.
Yes.
Could still take some handoffs. Yeah.
And then if you consider him maybe a little bit lumbering as a running back, but then you put him out there in space as one of those guys.
He can get downhill.
All of a sudden, he's a lot different. Yeah, it's a lot different.
Yeah, but you're not going to get him down with an arm tackle. You see multiple highlights of that. Yeah, he's a big guy, but it's a different sport from one level to the next, and it's a totally different level going up to D1 football. Interested to see how they could utilize him, and I hope he does get better. To be quite honest, and it's going to be exciting when to see Carl Albert come here because now quarterback and running back.
Yeah, so now they got quarterback that's a junior, running back that's a senior, committed to Oklahoma. This is going to be the most talented team that's ever stepped foot on this field, I think.
Think so.
So, yeah, I thought that was of note yesterday, not only because it's in state, but because you'll be able to – everybody listening within earshot – on the radio, will be able to see him with their own eyes right out here.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of not just Elk City fans there. I think there's going to be a lot of outside. A lot of people are going to go, hey, we can just travel to Elk City and watch this team play. Yeah, it's going to be a fun night.
So that happened. What else? What else is on your mind? Anything? Have you started making plans for next Tuesday? Do you specifically menu for July 4th?
No, I haven't got that far.
Got anywhere there?
I still got to get some more meat in my freezer.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I
Too
do
soon.
I'm
My bad. Too
completely out.
soon.
And then, insult to injury, I'm out of propane. I was cleaning my grill last night, and I turned on the heated up. You do all that, and completely out of propane now too. So I got to go do that before this coming weekend. No, right now my kids are begging me. There's a fireworks stand right when you drive into town. It's ran by the Canute senior class. Every time I drive by, the girls want to stop in there. I said, okay, well, last night we were busy. We will. I love supporting the local fireworks stands that goes to good causes and stuff. So I said, yeah, we'll go over there. So I think the first priority is getting fireworks, and then we'll figure out the food situation later.
Sad deal about Ryan Mallett.
Yeah, scary stuff, man. That's Destin when Riptide, man. That it's really bad right now along the Gulf Coast in Florida, and a lot of people vacation there, myself included. We plan on going, and we will not be going on that side.
Yeah,
we'll stay on the sound side. That's scary stuff. That is a sad deal.
One last thing. Did you know that Pat Sajak is retiring from Wheel of Fortune?
Knew that.
Did you see who's going to replace him?
Yeah.
What a terrible choice.
Was there a choice that was not terrible?
Ryan Seacrest.
All my life, I knew it to be Pat Sajak.
Well, it literally has been.
But people
they've done it for 40. Pat and Vanna have done it for 40 years. You're not 40 yet.
I'm not 40. That's what I'm saying. So there was no choice there that was going to satisfy me because that's all I've known. But I will say this:
if you're Vanna, do you feel a little slighted?
I'd say I quit too, if I'm Vanna White. Just
maybe her daughter could do it.
Walk away with
maybe
with
be
Pat.
Seacrest and Vanna's daughter.
Sure. But I will say this: when Bob Barker stepped away, I thought Drew Carey stepped in nicely. Everyone loved that. Everybody.
Not everybody.
Everybody. Everything I heard, I had no problem with Drew Carey stepping in. But
it's one of those things. Okay, he's good. He's fine, but he's not Bob.
Well, yeah.
And that's what's going to happen here to Seacrest out, because he can
at the end of Wheel of Fortune.
He can be okay, but he's not going to be Pat. Because here's the thing about Pat: he was funny, and he'd make a little innuendo.
He was quick. Yeah.
Seacrest isn't that way.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what he does. I mean, they're still kind of struggling with Jeopardy, too.
Oh, Jeopardy. They might as well cancel that show. Who do you think?
It's hard. I mean, what we always say about really good coaches, you don't want to be the guy that follows him.
Yeah, don't want to follow Trebek.
Right? So, I guess I have a little bit more sympathy for guys who have to follow legends like that. I'm like, hey, let's just give them a break.
Yeah, I guess so.
We'll see. It's not like they're changing the game or anything. It's still Wheel of Fortune.
Oh. Yeah, but the game isn't that great. You need Pat in there. Just kind of a deal. It's kind of sad.
Yeah. Come on, he's been giving away all those trips to Margaritaville and Cancun and all that.
Makes you realize
I think it's his turn.
Old.
It's
That's
his
all
turn.
It does make you realize you're getting older, Jared.
Yeah.
Everyone have a great Wednesday. We'll be back tomorrow.
You've been listening to the Skinny on Sports podcast with Aaron Cow. Be sure to hit that subscribe button to get alerts of when the latest podcast is available. Thanks for listening.
That ball is blistered